First things first, please check whether your name is checked. Okay. 咩名？13號。OK。你未有 ID 啊，遲啲有就會俾你啦。係。21。OK。好，仲有冇啊？24。OK，仲有冇啊 ？OK 啊，阿 Ryan 喺咪度啊 ？Ryan。OK， 好，出埋嚟。葉偉恒喺度嗎？葉偉恒。OK。Okay, we'll go through lab 1 today. We'll probably able to finish lab 1, and after that we will start lab 2. According to my experience, yesterday I'm not able to finish lab 2, but I will let you to work at home for the lab 2, but we will finish lab 1 today. I'm not so sure if you have already finished, but if you have finished lab 1, I'd like you to help me to do something. There is a page I shared under the Moodle. Okay, and you can find it in under topic lab, topic 1, and at the bottom you can see there is a 1A lab 1 tablet. Okay, and when you click on the link, it opens Padlet page. Okay, for this Padlet page, you can use to share your work. So from here, you can see divided into 4 sections, which are question 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you have finished your question 3, 4, 5, and 6, please feel free to upload your work here. According to my experience yesterday, as the resolution of my computer here is not very high, so the figure that you upload may be in very low resolution, but I still hope you can share some of your work and see if I can go through your work together with all the students so that you guys will have more ideas on what's common mistakes or what work is done well by the students. So please upload your question 3, 4, 5, and 6 for the answer. Okay, and I will show you how to do so. Okay, for example, you can first go to draw.io. Okay, as we have visited this website in last lab. Okay, visit draw.io. Okay, and you can open your diagrams in the local machine by clicking on this device icon. Okay, and then you can select open existing diagrams. So if you have some existing diagrams, you can click on this button to load in this web app. 咁有啲嘢想大家幫手做一做嘅。咁我哋上一堂咧就開始講個 flowchart 啦，咁亦都留咗啲俾你哋返屋企做啦。咁我想大家咧可以 share 下你哋啲完成品啊，即係如果你哋已經完成咗嘅話，有啲同學可能 upload 咗上去 Moodle 啦。咁但係我都想咧，你哋可以喺呢一個 Padlet 呢一個 platform 嗰度咧 share 下你哋嗰啲 work。咁我尋日咁樣做咧，嗰一個效果係幾好嘅，即係因為同學可以我哋可以一齊睇到同學做嘅 work 啦。咁我睇到一啲即係有啲諗法啦，同學嘅諗法其實我之前冇諗過嘅。咁所以你哋我可以即刻同大家 share 下同學所做嘅嘢啦，或者可以睇到一啲 common 嘅 mistakes 啦，又或者睇下有啲同學有啲地方做得好嘅，咁我都可以喺度講下啦。咁所以希望你哋可以 upload 翻啲嘢喺度啦。咁但係點樣 upload 咧？咁呢度我就講一講啦。Okay, for the 你首先你去到 draw.io 嗰度啦，去到 draw.io 嗰度，咁你可以撳個 device 去 load 翻一啲你哋已經做咗嘅 work 嘅。 Okay, and for example, I can click on the Open Existing Diagrams button and select my work, for example, this file. Okay, and for each page here, okay, I can export to PNG or JPEG format. Okay, for example, I can now select page 2, and then I can select file, and then I can select export as. Okay, and then I select PNG. Okay, and then export. Okay, save. Okay, and after that, I can visit the palette. Okay, and for example, I can add click on the plus button to add. Okay, for example, Gary Q2. Okay, although this is a Q3 session, anyway, I just export the Q2 answer. So I can here upload the question to answer. Okay, and then I can publish. Okay, so your work is shown here, so I can share with all of you your work. Okay, and here is the answer of question 2. Okay, we discussed about this last lab. Okay, but I'll explain once more. If you remember, okay, in question 2, you are asked to enter the street number of the New York City, and for even number, they are eastbound, and for odd number, they are westbound. Okay, so here is another approach. Here, I don't output the eastbound or westbound directly. Instead, it store the eastbound string to the direction variable, and here it stores the westbound string to the direction variables. Okay, and at the end, print out the direction. Okay, so this is another approach. As I remember in last lab, I put the output box here directly. Okay, I put the output parallelogram here directly. Okay, and here I'd like to show you another approach, which is save the output in the direction variable first, and at the end, print it out. Okay, so this is another approach. So you can see that there is no fixed solution for flowchart design. Okay, there is right or wrong, but there is no fixed solution. Okay, and here I'd like to point out another thing that I didn't mention in last lab. Okay, which is here inside this diamond. Okay, the question here is street number percent 2 is 0. So what's meant by the percent here? The percent here we usually pronounce as mode, okay, which means getting the remainder of street num divided by 2. Okay, percent here we pronounce mode. Okay, so street num mode 2. Okay, what means by street num mode 2? It is the remainder of street num divided by 2. Okay, so if the remainder of street num divided by 2 is 0, okay, the other meaning is street num is even. Okay, and the percent here, that's the percent symbol here is usually used in many programming language to stands for the remainder. Okay, so I put it here to let you see first, and we will use this later when we program this with Java. Okay. 咁呢一度咧，我就 upload 咗，正話示範啦嚇，正話我示範即係點樣喺 draw.io 嗰度 export 佢做 PNG 啦，跟住就點樣 upload 上嚟呢一個 palette 嗰度啦。咁雖然我呢個 palette 其實應該係我冇整到 question two 嗰個 section，但係我正話 cap 我又唔記得 cap question three 喎。不過錯有錯着啦，我可以講下呢個 question two，因為有一啲我上一堂冇講嘅。咁呢一個係我嘅做法啦。但係就算你哋嗰個做法咧唔一樣都唔緊要嘅，因為唔代表錯嘅。 OK 係會有啱同錯，但係唔一樣就唔代表一定錯嘅，因為有好多可能嘅答案都 OK 嘅。咁啊，呢度我記得我同上次我 show 俾你睇嗰個 work 咧就有啲唔同嘅。上次我同你哋一齊做咧，我就直接喺呢一個位咧就係 show 個 parallel，即 show 個平行四邊形咧，就直接 output 個 eastbound，或者係呢一個位置咧，我就直接係 output 嗰一個 westbound 嘅。OK，咁呢一度咧，我個做法就有少少唔同啦，就係將 eastbound 呢一個 string 咧就儲落 direction，呢一度我就將 westbound 嗰一個 string 咧就儲落 direction，而到最尾咧先至 print 嘅。OK，咁啊冇話啱唔啱嘅，咁只不過呢一個咧係我嘅 practice 啦。咁啊，但係點解我會咁樣做咧？其實都有一個原因嘅，就係有陣時咧，我哋會褪到去最尾，我哋先一次過 show 啲 output。OK，因為有陣時如果你一路 show 啲 output 咧，可能到最尾咧，嗰啲 output 係用唔着嘅，OK，或者係錯嘅，甚至乎係。咁啊，呢一啲咧，我遲啲再解釋俾你聽。所以其實咧，可能係去到最後到一切 confirm 嘅時候咧，我哋先至會 print 啲 output。咁所以我就比較常咧，就真係最頂咧就比較頂嘅位置就擺啲 input 啦，比較底嘅位置就擺啲 output 啦，中間咧就盡量都係啲 processes 嚟嘅。OK，咁通常係咁嘅做法啦。咁另外一個咧就係我上一次都唔係咁樣講嘅。上一次咧我就喺度呢個菱形入邊咧，OK。一條一定係 true false 嘅問題嚟㗎嘛，我講。咁我上一次咧就係咁樣 set 嘅，好似我係 set is street number even 咁樣嘅。我上一堂係咁樣嘅。咁但係呢一度咧我就用咗另外一個寫法，就係 street num percent is 0，佢好翹口係嘛？咁點解啊？咁 percent 咧呢一個符號咧，我哋如果係喺 programming 嘅世界咧，我哋就會將佢讀作為 mode，OK，咁即係 street num mode 2啦，OK，咁啊 mode 點解咧？其實即係攞個 street num 除2嘅餘數啊，OK，即係當你見到 percent 喺呢啲位置啦，係一個喺 programming 嘅 expression 入邊啦，佢就係攞餘數咁解。所以咧呢一個其實係 street num 除2嘅餘數咯。好啦，咁如果一個 street num 除2嘅餘數係0，咁即係代表咩啊？即係代表佢係雙數咯。OK，咁所以其實個意思一樣嘅。所以其實呢度個意思咧就係 is street num even。OK。咁同我哋咁樣寫個意思咧係一模一樣，咁所以如果佢係嘅話咧，咁佢就係 eastbound 啦；如果唔係嘅話咧，佢就係 westbound 啦，咁樣咯。OK，咁大家同學咧，你哋都可以，即係如果你哋已經做咗嘅話咧，咁不妨咧就係 share 下你哋個 work 上嚟呢個 Padlet，咁跟翻問題啦，即係唔好似我咁，因為我冇整個 question two 嘛。咁你哋 upload 翻你哋啲 work 落去，譬如 question 3啊、4、5、6咁樣啦。咁名咧你哋中意打就最好啦。OK，等我知道你做成，即係等我知道你係邊個啦。OK，邊啲等我係咯，認識下你啦。OK，因為有啲同學佢哋未必中意擺名上嚟嘅，都唔緊要嘅。OK，咁但係即係呢一個位置咧，我唔係用嚟俾分啦。咁所以你哋擺唔擺名都冇問題，但係如果你擺名嘅話，我會認識下你，即係知道呢個同學佢都 OK 喎，啲 concept 都 OK 清晰喎，咁樣。咁擺名就 optional 啦。但係我都想睇下，無論你擺唔擺名都好，我都想睇下你啲 work 嘅。OK，因為咧，尋日咧我咁樣同大家一齊 share 咧，咁就發覺其實原來我咁樣同大家同學傾咧。有好多我係冇諗過同學會點樣咁樣做嘅，OK，咁所以但係嗰啲可能係大家 common 會遇到嘅 mistakes 咯，或者係啱嘅嘢咯，或者係 alternatives 嘅做法咯，咁所以我都想喺度同大家分享一下嘅，咁樣集思廣益咁樣學習咧就會好啲嘅，OK，咁所以你哋咧而家可以upload 下你啲嘢啦，咁我等陣間一個安排應該咧就會係大概用1個鐘頭鬆啲嚟完埋呢一個 question 3、4、5、6。咁所以如果你哋未完成嘅話咧，或者棘住咗咧，其實都唔使驚嘅。佢哋話：哎呀死啦！而家阿 Sir 要我 upload，我冇嘢 upload 點算咧？冇問題嘅，因為你哋 Lab One 嗰個deadline 咧唔係咁快嘅。等陣間我都會逐條咧去到講下，咁你哋如果未完成嘅話咧，可以一路跟住我嚟做啦。 咁跟住就可以之後交翻咯。OK， 我 set 咗個 deadline 係下個禮拜嘅。OK， 咁Thomas 就 share 咗個 Q5啦。咁突然間我哋都睇下Thomas 嗰個 work 啦，其實係 O 唔 OK 咧？又或者其實同我嗰個係咪唔一樣？又或者係有啲乜嘢特別之處咧？咁我哋突然間可以睇下啦。咁我俾少少時間你哋 upload 埋啊。OK。If you can't finish question 3, 4, 5, and 6, it doesn't matter because I will go through the answer with you together as well as I will go through the work by other students so we can share different approach in drawing flowcharts. Okay, and I will explain the answer and also some alternatives solution with you. Okay, so you may try to upload your work if you have finished, and even if you haven't finished, it doesn't matter. Okay, you can listen to my answer, okay, as well as the sharing of other students, and you can work on your lab. Okay, the deadline of lab 1 is next week, so don't worry about this. OK， 咁喺度等緊同學 upload 嘅時間啦，我都 share 下我嘅做法啦。咁我哋睇下 question 3先。咁我 download 咗個題目先啦 ，Lab 01。OK， 好，第3題啦，我哋之前都提過啦，其實就同 Q2 差唔多嘅。佢個 difference 咧就係 Q2 咧就2個 case 要處理啦，即係向左走向右走嘅啫。咁但係咧 Q3 咧就係有3個 cases，因為咧佢唔同嘅車咧就有唔同嘅 charge， 即係唔同嘅計法啦。咁所以咧我哋應該咧就要分3個 case 啦。咁但係大家要留意咧，就係我哋3個 case 咧就唔可以話只係畫一個菱形，跟住就叉3條 output 嘅線出嚟，唔得。點解咧？因為我哋之前都提過啦，就係一個菱形咧，佢只可以叉2條線，而嗰2條線咧已經 set 好咗，就係 yes 同埋 no 嘅啫。所以你唔可以叉3條線，更加唔可以咧嗰3條線係 private car、bus 同埋 truck， 因為你叉出嚟只可以有2條線，而佢哋只係可以 yes 同 no。咁點算咧？咁我哋就要有2個菱形啦，最少我哋要有2個菱形啦。咁尋日嗰班見過有啲同學係用3個菱形，但係又唔係錯嘅喎。OK， 咁只不過佢哋會處理多啲 cases 咁解嘅啫。咁所以如果你係用咗3個菱形嘅話咧，都唔好怕，都照 upload 你嘅 work 啦。我哋可以睇下啦。尋日我係講完我嗰個答案，再睇其他同學嗰啲答案嘅。OK， 咁所以冇所謂嘅，冇衝突嘅。OK， 你照 upload 都 OK 嘅。咁所以呢度咧，我哋就要睇下啦，就係我哋應該咧就要處理3個 case 啦。3個 case 我哋最少咧就要用2個菱形。OK， 咁嗰2個菱形係點樣安排咧？咁我等陣間咧就會講下啦。OK， 其實之前都大概提過嘅。OK，so for question 3, as I mentioned earlier, is similar to question 2, but the difference is question 2 has 2 cases and question 3 has 3 cases. Okay, for 3 cases, they are corresponding to private car, bus, and truck as they has different calculation methods. Okay, for private car, the rate, the fee should be 15 times hour. For bus, the fee should be 35 times hour. And for truck, the fee should be 50 times hours. So they have different calculation. That's why we need to handle 3 cases according to the vehicle type. However, as I mentioned earlier, we cannot have 3 outputs for the diamond shape because for each diamond shape, there are only 2 outputs and the outputs are fixed to yes or no. So you cannot have for each diamond shape, you cannot have 3 outputs, okay? Namely, private car, bus, and truck. No, you cannot do this because for each diamond, there are only 2 outputs, and they are already fixed to yes or no. So how can we handle 3 cases? We can use 2 diamond shapes to handle, okay? And here is my solution. Here's my work, okay? Not necessarily the same as yours, okay? But this is one of the possible answer. Okay. First of all, there are 2 inputs, right? The type and also the hour, okay? And after that, we need to handle the 3 cases that we mentioned before: private car, bus, and also truck, okay? So we first check whether the type is equals to private car. If it is, then it goes to the left because the left arrow is yes, okay? So one case handled. Okay, so how about the other 2? Okay, the other 2 cases, which means bus and truck, will go to the right. Okay, as you can see, the right arrow is no. Okay, so as bus is not private car, as truck is not private car, so both bus and truck will go to the right-hand side. Okay, so there are two possible vehicle type here. So that's why we need another diamond shape to handle these 2 cases. Okay, and this diamond shape, the blue one here, mainly used to handle bus. Okay, so if it is a bus, okay, then it goes to the left. Okay, and the hours and the fee can be calculated by another formula, okay, which is 35 times hours. Okay, so how about truck? How about truck? In this case, if it is not a private car, go to the right. And if it is not a private car and not a bus, then it goes to the right again. So this is the case of truck. Okay, so we only need 2 diamond shapes to handle 3 cases, these 3 routes here. Okay, so but if you have drawn 3 diamonds, it's also correct sometimes. Okay, as I have seen another work done by another student, he used 3 diamond shape, and because he wants to handle some other error cases, which is not private car, not bus, and not truck. Okay, and that's fine. Okay, but this is my work, okay, which didn't handle any error such as not private car, not bus, and not truck. Okay, this is the minimal one. Okay, it only handled the some correct case, private car, bus, and truck. Okay, and 2 diamonds are enough. Okay, and the other thing that I want you to pay attention on is for each diamond, okay, it has its corresponding connector. Okay, so as you can see the blue diamond here, okay, it has 2 outputs, right? Yes and no. Okay, and remember that these 2 routes will merge again by use of the connector. So that's why I said each diamond shape has its own corresponding connector. Okay, the yes and no rules will finally merge together with this connector. Okay, so this is the connector for the blue diamond here. And for the right diamond here, it has another corresponding circle, the connector. Okay, so yes of this white diamond, and no for this white diamond will finally merge together to this connector. Okay, so remember that we should have each connector we should have connector for each diamond shape. OK，咁跟住咧，我哋睇下咯。呢個 flow chart 咧，首先就要攞2個 input 啦，因為我哋要有2個 input 咧，我哋先至計到嗰一個 fee 嘅，OK， 先至計到個泊車要幾錢嘅，OK， 咁分別就係個 type 啦，同埋個 hour。 咁咧跟住就係要3個 cases 啦。因為咧我哋有3個 type 要處理嘅，即係 private car 啦、私家車啦、係巴士啦，同埋係 truck 嘅。咁第一個菱形啦，落嚟啦，佢就只係處理 private car 啫。咁係咁樣處理嘅，因為我哋唔可以一個菱形咧叉3條 output 出嚟噶嘛。咁我就處理咗其中一個先，就係 private car 啦。咁所以咧，如果個 type 係 private car 嘅話咧，佢就會已經係向左走，行咗依條路，咁就用翻計私家車個車資嗰個 rate 咯，即係15咯，15乘 hour。咁 private car 就向左行啦。咁向右行咧，向右行有啲乜嘢啊？向右行嘅簡單啲嚟講咧，就係唔係 private car。喺呢一個例子嚟講咧，就係 bus 同 truck 啦。所以向右行咧就係唔係 private car。喺呢一個例子就係 bus 同 truck 啦。咁即係話呢一個 diamond 咧，佢就會處理 bus 同埋 truck 啦。但係喺字面上咧，佢呢度就係話 is type 等於 bus 咁嘅啫。咁但係 OK 嘅，因為如果佢係巴士嘅話，佢就會行咗呢一條路啦，咁就用翻巴士個車資啦。如果佢唔係巴士嘅話，就行呢條路啦。咁乜嘢情況會落到嚟啊？其實就係唔係 private car 同埋唔係 bus，佢先至落得到嚟呢一度咯。再講多次啊，佢唔係 private car 同埋唔係 bus，佢先至要落得到嚟呢一度咯。OK 嘛？如果佢一開始係 private car 嘅，佢就去咗左手邊啦。所以落得到嚟呢一邊咧，其實就係唔係 private car 同埋唔係 bus 啦。咁喺呢一個例子係乜嘢啊？喺呢個例子係咩嘢？唔係 private car，唔係 bus，咪剩翻係 truck 咯。咁所以咧，其實呢一個有個 otherwise 嘅意思嘅。即係唔係 private car，唔係 bus，咪係 truck 咯。唔係 private car，唔係 bus，咁呢個咧就係 truck 嘅嗰個計法啦。咁所以咧，其實兩個菱形咧就已經可以處理晒3個 case 㗎啦。所以咧，如果我哋再推而廣之啦，就係我哋如果有 n 個 cases 要處理嘅話咧，我哋就畫 n 減1咁多個 diamonds 咧，就應該夠㗎啦。咁但係即係我之前都提過，啲同學就畫咗3個菱形去處理3個 case，咁 OK 嘅嗰個同學嘅 work，因為佢就處理埋 error。即係唔係 private car，唔係 bus，唔係 truck。咁如果係咁樣嘅話咧，佢就畫咗3個菱形係 OK 咯。好，咁另外一樣嘢都想提一提大家咧，就係記住咧，就係每一個菱形咧都要有佢對應嘅嗰個 connector。而呢一個 connector 咧，其實佢係會merge 翻埋個 yes 同埋 no 呢兩條線嘅。即係舉一個例子，譬如呢一個藍色嘅菱形啦，佢咪叉咗條 yes 同埋 no 嘅。呢條 yes 同埋 no 咧，到最終咧，佢哋係要 merge 翻埋一齊嘅。咁就係有翻 merge 落去呢個 connector 嗰度啦。咁所以呢一個圓形咧就唔可以慳嘅。如果我哋將佢 merge 埋晒同一個圓形，即係舉個例變成咁樣嘅話咧，咁樣咧就會亂㗎啦。到我哋寫曲嘅時候咧，就會唔知道邊啲打邊啲㗎啦。咁所以咧其實咧呢一個死火要搞咗添。所以咧，其實大家要留意翻咧，就係其實咧呢個圓形咧唔可以慳，因為咧去到 coding 嘅時候咧，呢一個其實某程度上係一個括弧嚟嘅。你冇咗個括弧咧就唔 work 噶啦。好，咁呢一個咧，呢一個白色嘅菱形咧，佢對應嗰個 connector 咧就係呢一個啦。就係呢一個啦。咁向左走呢一條路啦，會落得翻嚟白色呢一個圓圈啦。向右走嘅呢一條路，無論佢行呢度，淨係行呢度啦，到最終都係會落得翻嚟呢一個圓圈嗰度。咁所以咧，每一個菱形咧，你都有佢對應嘅嗰個 connector 咯。咁啊，跟住到最尾咧，佢就編翻個呢度 save 低咗嘅 fee。最尾編翻出嚟。咁呢一個咧就係第3題啦。係啦，咁呢度咧唔同同學都有唔同嘅做法啦。其實呢一個同學咧，佢就用咗3個菱形。咁不過咧，佢呢度咧其實咧可以用2個就搞掂㗎啦。因為咧，我哋試下睇下呢度。可以放大到少少。不過唔緊要啦，我讀俾你哋聽。 OK， 呢一度咧佢就話佢係咪 private car 啊？呢個係咪 bus 啊？呢個係咪 truck 啊？咁咧，大家有冇留意到咧？其實我正話咪講咧，每一個菱形可以有兩個 output 嘅。OK， 但係同學咧呢一度咧佢就呢一個菱形咧有冇留意啊？其實佢得一個 output 啫喎，一個 in 一個 out。OK， 咁如果係 no 嘅時候咧，佢就冇嘢做啊。OK， 佢就冇嘢做，唔知去咗邊啦。OK。唔知去咗邊啦。如果係 no 嘅時候，所以咧其實咧呢一度咧佢可以慳緊呢一個菱形嘅，可以慳呢一個菱形嘅，因為如果正如正話講，佢唔係 car 唔係 bus 就已經係 truck 㗎啦。OK， 所以佢呢度可以唔使 check 嘅。OK， 但係如果佢 check 嘅話咧，乜嘢情況之下佢會行到去 no 啊？就係我三個都唔係咯，唔係 bus 唔係 truck 唔係 private car 就會行到去捉呢一個 no 咯。which is 同學呢度冇處理嘅 case 啊。咁我尋日見過嗰個版本咧，就係佢將呢個 no 咧冧翻上嚟，叫佢再入過。咁樣又合理喎，咁樣又合理喎，即係如果佢入錯個 type 嘅時候，咪再入過咯。佢係 print 個 error 跟住再入過。咁所以同學咧呢度可以考慮下，就係唔要呢一個菱形啦，直接呢一個 no 咧，佢就落嚟呢一度啦，咁樣。咁跟住同學咧喺呢一度咧，佢就 set 咗個 hour 做1。咁咧其實 hour 咧應該係要攞翻嚟嘅，唔係 set 落去嘅。咁所以咧同學可以喺呢一個位置咧就攞埋個 hour。反而呢一度咧佢，呢度佢係嗱，如果同學呢一個做法幾有趣嘅，我諗咧佢係諗住呢一個 program 佢係會每一個鐘行一次咯，係嘛？每一個鐘行一次，跟住佢呢度就係leaving 未啊 ，leave 未啊咁樣。呢一度其實咧，與其係咁樣咧，即係呢度我嗰個做法咧，就係你可以 assume 呢一個 program 咧係佢離開嘅時候行。離開嘅時候行，咁佢離開嘅時候佢先至會有個 hour 咯。咁但係如果你呢一個版本咧，就係你諗住呢個 program 可能係一個鐘頭行一次，咁跟住呢度如果佢離開嘅就加1，如果唔係嘅話，咁樣又就計佢價錢啦，咁樣係咪？所以其實個處理嗰個問題唔一樣啊，即係 define 嗰個 problem 嗰陣時，嗰個方式唔同。你呢個 program 就要每一個鐘頭行一次，咁我嗰個版本咧就係 suppose 架車離開嘅時候會計一次 hour 咁樣咯。就算係咁樣都好啦，同學呢一個位置嗰個咧應該係 hour 等於 hour 加1，就唔係就咁 hour 加1啦，佢 hour 等於1正 hour 加等於1啊。我睇唔清楚啦，因為個 resolution 問題。anyway，呢度咧都有另外一個問題，就係 merge 晒落去一個圓圈嗰度。咁呢一個咧就唔可以咁樣做嘅。咁我之前提過噶啦。如果係呢一個菱形，佢要有翻佢對應嘅圓圈啦，呢一個又係啦，呢一個又係啦，咁樣。咁係咯。等下，我睇下我有冇。我俾令sorry，尋日嗰個同學係呢一個，佢都係用咗3個菱形而佢用呢3個菱形咧，就係如果佢入錯嘅話咧，佢就寫個 error，跟住就再問個人個 type，係咁樣咯。咁呢度佢就都做到就係呢一個菱形有佢對應嘅圓圈啦，呢個菱形有佢對應嘅圓圈啦。呢個菱形咧，佢就係佢因為唔係 merge 翻埋，佢係彈翻上嚟，咁所以佢冇圓圈都 OK 嘅。就係咁樣咯。呢個係另外一班即係尋日嗰班同學嗰個做法嚟嘅。好，咁呢個可以執一執啦。跟住呢一個，呢個我嘅喎，sorry。即係2個啫。都好啊，有個同學可以 share 下佢嘅 work。冇所謂㗎，啱啱錯錯嗰啲，你哋即係錯完之後，你執翻正就 OK 㗎啦。好。 好，咁跟住第四條。第四條咧，其實係一個複雜版本嘅第三條咁解嘅啫。第三條咧就三個 case 啦，第四條咧就係 one two three four five 5個 cases 啦。OK，咁如果跟足呢一個 table 咁樣嚟做嘅話咧，第一個要處理嘅 case 咧應該就係0至59啦。OK，但係呢一度咧，我就 make 咗個 assumption 嘅。我記得我上一堂都係同你哋講，就係假設咧個 input 係一個integer 整數嚟嘅。OK，咁因為如果唔係整數嘅話咧，就好麻煩啦。你哋想象一下，就係如果個分數係59.5咁樣會點咧？如果個分數係59.5咁會點樣啊？For question 4, actually, question 4 is similar to question 3. Okay, and we have 3 cases in question 3, but in question 4 are very similar, but there are 5 cases. Okay, and the first case need to be handled if we follow the table. The first case need to be handled is 0 to 59. Okay, and if the marks is 0 to 59, okay, between 0 and 59, then the grade should be F. As I remember in last lab section, I mentioned that we can make an assumption for this question is that the input should be an integer. Okay, otherwise it will be very trouble. Okay, because just imagine if the marks is 59.5, then what grade will it falls to? If the mark is 59.5, what grade will be given according to this table? 如果係59.5分嘅話，跟住呢一個 table 跟足佢嘅話，佢會有啲咩 grade 啊？會攞咗 A 啊，係啊，59.5分反而攞咗 A， 其實都唔及一個80分嘅，其實都叻過個80分嘅咁樣，咁就唔係咁好啦。咁所以呢度咧我就話 make 一個 assumption 咧，就係只有 integer 嘅 input 咯。OK， if the marks is 59.5, okay, which means that we allows floating point inputs, and according to the table here, okay, 59.9 is not between 0 and 59, and is not between 60 and 69, and is not between 70 and 79. It's not between 80 and 89, so it falls to this category. So 59.5 will get an A. Okay, so that's not reasonable. That's why I said we can make an assumption that the input should be an integer. 59.5咧，佢唔係呢一個嘛，又唔係呢一個，又唔係呢一個，又唔係呢一個，咁樣咪 otherwise 咯。咁即係上邊呢4個 cases 都 false 晒咯。咁佢咪落到嚟 A 咯 ，OK？ 咁所以先至我話咩一個 assumption 啦，就係即係當佢嗰個係整數啦咁樣咯 ，OK？ 咁講講我個 work 先啦，跟住我再睇下同學嘅 work 啦。咁呢一個就係我嘅做法嚟嘅 ，OK？ 咁呢一個係 advanced 嘅版本嚟嘅。OK， 我講唔講呢個好咧？我照講呢個啦。OK， 好，咁首先咧就start 啦，攞咗分數啦。OK， 第一個 case 咧就係0至59。OK， 即係包0唔包60啦。OK， 即係呢個小括弧就係唔包60嘅意思啦。咁如果係嘅話咧，就落到嚟 F 啦。OK， 咁如果唔係嘅話咧 ，OK， 即係咩情況啊？即係 DCBA 嘅情況咯。OK， 呢一度咧，呢條線咧 DCBA 都會行㗎。OK， 咁跟住落到嚟呢一度咧，佢就有另外一個菱形咧，就處理 D 嘅嗰個情況啦。OK， 咁如果係 D 嘅話咧，佢就會落得到嚟呢一度啦，就 set 咗個 grade 做 D 啦。咁如果唔係咧 ，OK，CBA 都係落嚟呢一條線嘅。OK， 得唔得？ OK， 咁如果係 CBA 落嚟呢條線嘅話咧，咁即係你呢度咧就可以處理 C 或者 B 或者 A 啦。 咁但係如果你跟翻嗰個 table 嘅次序嘅話咧，呢一度就處理 C 嘅嗰個情況啦，即係 within 70至80咁樣。OK，咁如果呢個條件成立嘅話咧，C 就落得到嚟啦。咁行得到嚟呢一邊 no 咧，就係 B 同埋 A 啦。OK，咁啦，跟住呢個咧就處理 B 嗰個情況啦。所以你哋見到咧呢一個菱形咧入邊嗰個情況咧係 B 嘅嗰個 grade 嗰個情況。咁如果呢一個係成立嘅話咧，咁我哋就係 B 呢一個 case 啊。而乜嘢情況之下落到嚟啊？最尾呢一個 OK，呢一個咧其實就係 otherwise 啊。其實要留意咧，其實係呢一個最尾呢一個咧，佢 no 咧，其實唔單止係呢一個 no 嘅。OK，佢乜嘢情況先至落得到嚟啊？就係呢一個 no，呢一個 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 no，佢先至落到嚟。所以咧，其實最尾全部前面嗰啲 no 晒咧，咪就係 otherwise 咯。OK，就係 otherwise 咯。呢一個 otherwise 咧，其實就係呢一度啊，呢一度咯。OK 嘛，其實就係咁樣咯。OK。好，咁啊，正如之前講啦，就係每一個菱形咧都會有翻佢對應嘅圓形啦，每一個菱形都有翻佢對應嘅圓形啦，每一個菱形都有翻個對應嘅圓形，每一個菱形都有翻佢對應嗰個圓形。OK，就係咁樣啦。Okay, so for this question, we first get an input, okay, which is mark, okay, and for the first case, the diamond shape here, check whether the case is an F, okay. If the mark is between 0 and 59, okay, the grade should be F. So this is the condition of F, okay, between 0 and 59. If this case is true, okay, then the grade is set to F, okay, which means the yes here is for grade F. So how about the no here? The no here is for not F. In this case, that's D, C, B, and A. Okay, so D, C, B, and A will take this root. Okay, the no one. Okay, and the other diamond here is used to handle the case D. So the condition here marks within 60 and 70, okay, which 70 is exclusive, is the case of D. So if this is true, it goes to the left, okay, and grade is set to D. And how about no here? Okay, for C, B, and A will go to this root. Okay, so B, C, B, and A, okay, will go here. And the diamond here handle the case C. Okay, so mark within 70 and 79, okay, or 70 to 80, which 80 is exclusive. This is the case of C. So if this is true, then it goes to the left, okay, and grade is set to C. Okay, and for the no here, B and A will go to this root. Okay, so the diamond here handles both B and A. And if it is B, okay, it falls here. And if it is not true, okay, which means not B, okay, then it falls here, okay, which is grade A. Okay, for this one, we call that is an otherwise case, because how can we fall to this root? Is the first diamond is no, the second diamond is no, the third diamond is no, and the fourth diamond is no. Okay, all the conditions mentioned before are no. So this is the otherwise case. Okay, so in other words, if it is not F, if it is not D, not C, and not B, okay, then otherwise the last case is grade A. Okay, so this is how we can draw the flowchart for question 4 here. And as I mentioned before, for each diamond shape, we need a connector. Okay, so here is the corresponding connector for this diamond. And this connector is for this diamond. And this connector is for this diamond. And this connector is for this diamond. Okay, so remember how we how we separate the wood to two. We merge them back here. Okay. So this is question 4, and let's take a look at other work. Okay, the work by Sunny. Okay, input the mark. If mark is greater than 0 and less than 59, less than or equals to 59, grade F, correct? Okay, and the connector here should not connect these roots, okay, because it should connect back to all the cases here, okay, and remember here, okay, F is considered here, okay, so this is F and this is not F, okay, but remember that the root here is also not F, okay. However, here, sorry, here, this is the case D, okay. If this circle is corresponding to this diamond, then the left-hand side should be F and the right-hand side should be not F. But here, the right-hand side is D, case D, okay, but not F. Okay, so how you merge here is a bit incorrect. So you need to fix it. Okay, to fix it, just you may reference to my work here. Okay，咁我哋睇下同學嘅呢一個，其實都好接近我嗰個㗎。你見佢個形狀咧，其實都好接近我嗰個嘅。OK，咁但係咧，大家就要留意翻嗰啲 connector 係點樣 merge 啦。OK，咁咧，如果你哋睇我嗰個咧，就會留意到就係呢一度咧，佢咪叉咗兩條線出嚟嘅。左邊呢條係 F， 右邊呢條係 not F 啊嘛。咁佢對應嘅呢一個 connector 咧。其實都係會食兩條線嘅，就係一條係 F， 呢一條咧其實係 not F 嘅線嚟㗎，係嘛？你想唔想像到啊 ？OK， 因為 D 會落到嚟呢度啦 ，C 會落得到嚟呢一度啦 ，B 會落得到嚟呢一度啦 ，A 會落得到嚟呢一度啦。所以咧，其實呢一條線咧，咪就係 D。CBA 咪就係 not F 咯 ，OK， 咁所以呢一度叉出兩條線，一條係 F， 一條係 not F 嘅時候，佢對應嘅呢一個 connector 都要係 F 同埋 not F 咯。咁但係呢一度咧，就可能同學呢個咧就要執啦，因為佢呢一個咧叉出嚟係 F 同埋 not F 啦，但係呢一個咧佢左邊係 F， 右邊就係 D 啦，而唔係 not F 啦。OK， 咁所以呢個 connector 咧就 connector 嗰個位置咧就要執一執佢啦。OK， 同樣地咧，其實呢一度咧呢一個菱形咪叉出兩條線嘅。OK， 呢度叉出兩條線就係 B 嘅嗰個 case 嘅，呢個應該係 B 啦，呢個應該係 A 啦。OK， 咁但係咧佢呢度就 merge 咗落去 C 嘅嗰個圓圈咯。OK， 咁呢個connector 咧呢度要執一執。上面呢啲咧啱嘅靚仔嘅，同呢一度我嗰個咧係好接近嘅。OK， 咁執一執呢度啦，其他都 OK 嘅。咁跟住呢一個咧同學就調轉嚟處理嘅，不過調轉嚟處理都唔係問題。OK， 因為即係我哋正話講，如果跟住呢一個 table 咧，佢就係處理咗 F 先啊嘛。同學咧呢一個咧就處理咗 A 先嘅。咁佢呢個條件其實係少少錯啊 OK， 嗱，因為咧 A 係咩啊 ？A 應該係90至100嘛。A 應該係90至100嘛。所以同學呢度話 if marks 大過大過嚟㗎呢個係嘛？好啱呢度，如果個 marks 大過89，即係90啦，佢就會落到嚟呢邊就 grade A 啦 ，OK 嘅。咁 no 咧，呢個即係咩啊？呢條線即係 not A、B、C、D 啊 ，sorry，not B、C、D、F 啦。OK， 咁係 OK 嘅。OK， 咁但係咧都係嗰句啦，同學 merge 翻埋嘅時候咧就唔好咁樣 merge 埋一條線過咯。呢度唔好一條線過。OK， 分翻開佢，即係話咧呢個 F 同埋 D merge 翻埋一個。OK， 跟住 not C 即係 DF 啦嚇 ，DF 一條線同埋呢個 C 嘅嗰條線又 merge 埋另外一個，呢一個菱形咧就有係FDC 同埋 B 就 merge 埋一個，跟住再剩多一個咧就係 A 同埋 not A 啦，即係 A 同埋BCDF 嘅 merge 埋一齊。OK， 係執一執下邊呢一個啦。執一執下邊呢一個啦，即係用翻呢一個方式，逐層逐層逐層逐層咁樣 merge 翻埋，咁樣就 OK 啦。OK， 因為咧咩原因要咁樣咧？就係譬如其實我哋喺呢一啲位置咧係可以加啲曲㗎，呢啲位置係可以加啲曲㗎，呢啲位置係可以加啲曲㗎。咁如果咧你係冇，如果你係冇咁樣分咗呢一啲圓形嘅話咧，你呢度全部一條線過嘅話咧 ，OK， 咁樣咧，我如果要加啲喺呢一度嘅曲，加啲喺呢度嘅曲，加啲喺度嘅曲就無從入手啦。OK， 咁所以咧記住就係要分開啲 connector 啦。OK，so here is the other work by another student. Okay, and actually this is okay, although the condition here looks a bit different from mine. Okay, the students here, the work here, consider A first instead of consider F. So here, if marks is greater than 89, if it is true, then it is grade A. If it is not, the node here handles B, C, D, and F. So another diamond here handle the case B. So if marks is greater than 79, if it is true, then grade D, okay, grade B, okay. And I'd like to mention that the work here is pretty neat. Okay, it is because the student here won't check again whether it is smaller than 89, okay, and greater than 79. Okay, it has been simplified, and this is good. Okay, because if we go to the left-hand side, it is already should be smaller than 89. So we don't need to specify another case here. Okay, so the condition here is simplified and the work here is pretty neat. Okay, and the follow are also correct. Some improvement should be done here is for each diamond shape here, it should has its own connector. Okay, just like my work here. Okay, this is my comments to these diagrams. 咁啊，正話咧，我漏咗講嘅，其實同學咧呢一個咧，佢係寫得好靚仔下嘅個 condition， 因為咧佢唔侵氣啊。OK， 嗱，理論上咧，我哋乜嘢情況會話係 B 啊？我哋會話佢係大過79同埋細過80啦，係咪 ？OK， 咁但係同學咧呢度就咁寫個分數大過79啫喎，咁有冇錯到啊？其實冇錯啊。咁你話少咁個 case 都錯 ，B 唔係要大過79同埋細過80咩咁樣？sorry， 細過89同埋大過80咩？咁呢度少咗個 case 喎，少咗個細過89，細過80，細過即係等於89個 case 喎，冇問題㗎，因為咧行得到嚟左手邊呢條路咧，呢個 no 咗嘅路咧，就已經係代表佢係細過89㗎啦嘛。細或者等於89㗎啦嘛 ，OK， 咁所以咧其實係 OK 嘅，喺度係簡化得到嘅，同埋簡化得啱嘅 ，OK， 咁呢一個部分係要讚嘅，同學呢一個 ，OK。OK 啊，呢一個 ，OK， 都係爭 connector 呢一個位置，都係爭 connector 呢一個位置。OK， 你見其實佢形狀同我嗰個唔一樣，但係即係除咗 connector 呢一個位置要執一執之外啦，即係用翻4個 connector 之外啦，OK， 其實佢做到嗰一個 logic 咧係一模一樣嘅。OK，good 啊。咁呢度都呢個同學都係用咗我正話講嗰一個方式啦，就係其實佢呢一個位置咧，佢唔需要再 check 係細過90㗎啦。OK， 呢一個位置佢冇再 check 細過90啊。OK， 因為行得到 no 咧，就一定已經係細過90啦。OK， 咁呢一個都係值得讚嘅地方嚟嘅。OK，and similarly the work here is correct, logically correct, except the connector should create a few more for corresponding diamond shape here. Okay, and the condition here is also very well written. okay, because for the case B, okay, the work here didn't handle mark is smaller than or smaller than or equal smaller than 90, okay, smaller than 90. The condition here didn't handle this, okay, but it is fine because if it goes to the right here, okay, it is already not greater than 90, okay, not greater than 90. Okay, it goes here. But the condition here should write more clearly that if marks is greater than or equal to 90. Okay， 因為九字頭咧已經算係 A 啊，九字頭已經算係 A 啊。咁所以咧呢度個分數咧應該 if marks 大過或者等於90。OK， 同學執一執呢一度啊，即係除咗啲 connector 之外，呢度咧應該係大過等於90，大過等於90，咁樣就 OK 啦。OK， 咁呢個又係啦。如果係大過等於80，因為有8字頭咧，已經係 B 啦，咁樣咯。OK， 執翻呢一度啊。OK， 咁就係咁樣啦。呢度 condition 都係寫得整齊嘅，寫得好清晰嘅。好，跟住呢一個大過89就係 A 啦。呢個同學都係處理咗 A 先嘅喎。咁跟住呢個 if marks 大過等於80。and 細過等於89就係 B 啦，咁呢度 OK 㗎，即係佢呢個就寫得係好清楚咯。但係如果我哋想簡化嘅時候咧，其實個 marks 大過等於80係可以sorry 個細過等於89係可以唔寫嘅 ，OK。大過等於80就要寫，細過等於89係可以唔使寫嘅，因為佢細過等於89先至行到去 no 呢一邊咯，明唔明白啊 ？OK， 咁所以咧同學咁樣寫咗係啱嘅，邏輯上係啱嘅 ，OK， 行出嚟都係 work 嘅 ，OK， 你咁寫冇人會話你錯嘅 ，OK， 咁但係如果我哋想簡化少少嘅話咧，咁我哋係可以唔使寫呢一個細過等於89嘅。OK， 咁呢一個你中意執又得，你中意 keep 翻佢清楚啲嘅，其實都 fine 冇問題嘅。OK， 唯獨是下邊呢度咧啲 connector 都係執一執啦。OK， 每一個菱形咧就對應翻佢哋自己嘅嗰個圓圈咯，就唔好一個圓圈咯。OK， 因為正如正話講，就係呢一啲位置咧，呢一啲位置，呢啲位置，呢啲位置其實我哋都可以加啲曲落去㗎。OK， 咁所以就唔好慳啦嗰啲圓圈。So question 5, okay, ask the user to input a positive integer value and then display star times on the screen. So if the input is 5, then 5 stars will be printed. Okay, here is an example. Okay, and the hint here is you can use repetition construct, which means that we have an arrow pointing pointing to the flow on the upper part of the flow chart. Okay, and for each time we don't need to print multiple stars. Okay, but for each time we print 1 star. So in order to print 5 stars, in other words, which means we print 1 star repeatedly. Okay, so this is the concept of repetition, and I'm not so sure if I have my work here. Okay. Okay, here. Okay. And during the lecture, I have shown you an example. Okay. And my example is if you are asked to say hello 5 times, what will you do? You will do hello, 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 and hello, right? Okay, you may use your fingers to help you to count how many times you speak out hello. Okay, so similarly, we can create another variable count, okay, to represent your fingers. Okay, this count represents how many stars are printed already. Okay, the count here. Okay, in my example, but this is not necessary. There are many ways to do so. Okay, but in this example, the count here means how many stars are printed. Okay, the count here. Okay, representing how many stars are printed. Okay, and at the beginning, of course, there are no star printed, so count is set to 0. Okay, and then we get an input from user and store in the variable n. Okay, after that, we print stars repeatedly. Okay, and if there is a star printed, we increase count by 1. Okay, for mathematician, they will think this count equals to count plus 1 is weird. But as a programmer, this is very normal. Okay, I will explain to you what count equals to count plus 1 means. For the equal sign in most programming language, the priority of equal is very low. Okay, so we evaluate the equal sign as last. Okay, and similar to mathematics, we evaluate, multiply, and divide before plus and minus. Okay, but in programming, the priority of equal sign are even lower than plus. Okay, so equal sign is evaluated at the last. Okay, and for the equal sign, they are evaluated from right to left. Okay, equal sign is evaluated from right to left, which means that for this expression, count plus 1 will be evaluated first. Okay, so initially count is 0, right? So count plus 1 is actually 0 plus 1. So on the right-hand side of equal, we get an 1. Okay, we get an 1 because 0 plus 1 is 1, right? So count equals to 1. So 1 is assigned to count. Okay, so this is how we increase count. Okay, this is how we update count accumulatively. Okay, we increase count by 1, increase count by 1, increase count by 1 accumulatively when we execute this piece of this statement. Okay，跟住咧呢一度咧，我哋就一開始咧就 set 咗個 count 係0啦。即係我 lecture 嘅時候舉咗一個例子咧，就係如果我叫你講你好嗎講10次，咁你會點樣啊？咁你咪用手指數咯，你好嗎？你好嗎？你好嗎？每講一次你就趌出一隻手指，每講一次你就趌出一隻手指。你好嗎？你好嗎？你好嗎？你好嗎？你好嗎？咁你到講夠10隻咯，即係舉起晒10隻手指咯，咁你咪講咗10次咯，係咪 ？OK， 咁所以咧，其實咧，我哋寫 program 咧都可以用個 count 整多一個 variable 咧嚟到 represent 你嗰啲手指嘅。OK， 咁咧呢個 count 咧其實就係代表緊一樣嘢，就係編咗幾多粒星星咧咁樣，即係只不過我冇咁樣去 name 呢一個 variable 啫嘛。OK。咁但係我就叫咗佢做 count 啦。OK， 咁一開始冇星星 print 到嘛，所以個 count 咪0咯。OK， 咁跟住就攞 user 個 input 啦。咁跟住有個條件嘅，一陣間講下點解會有呢個條件。OK， 而我哋咧呢度咧會 repeatedly 咁樣去做以下嘅嘢嘅。呢個 loop 咧咪翻上嚟嘅，呢條線咪翻上嚟嘅，呢條線咪翻上嚟嘅。所以其實佢係重複咁樣做緊呢一堆嘢。咁做啲咩咧？就係 print 一粒星星 ，print 一粒星星。咁你話唔係要 print 5粒咩？唔係要 print n 粒咩？咁點解 print 1粒啊？個原因咧，其實就係你如果俾人叫 print 5粒星，咁其實咪即係重複 print 一粒 print 5次咯。我哋將佢拆到最細，跟住叫佢重複咁樣做。OK， 我哋唔係話一 print 就 print 5次5粒星星，唔係，我哋係重複 print 一粒星星 print 5次，咪做到同樣個效果咯。OK， 咁所以咧呢度其實就係 print 一粒星星啦。咁我正話講乜嘢啊？正話我話count 係代表 print 咗幾多粒星星啊嘛。咁我呢一頭就 print 咗一粒星星啦，咁我哋咪要 update 個 count 咯。原本係0咪要 update 做1咯，原本係1咪要 update 做2咯。咁點樣做啊？就係 count 等於 count 加1啦。嗱呢一句嘢咧，啲數學人咧就會睇到拗晒頭嘅。count 點會等於 count 加1啊？咁但係電腦人咧就會好理解呢一樣嘢嘅。點解咧？咁我哋而家講下咯喎。count 等於 count 加1。OK， 呢度有個等於嘅符號啦，有個加嘅符號。喺 電腦嚟講咧，喺programming 嚟講咧，等於呢一個 operator 咧個 priority 係好低嘅。OK， 我哋有講先乘除後加減係咪？乘除個 priority 係高過加減，即係我哋要做咗乘除先至做加減啦，係咪？等於咧係仲低過加減嘅，等於係仲低過加減嘅。OK， 咁所以咧等於係好後做嘅。OK， 好啦，我哋知道呢樣嘢咯。第一，第二咧就係等於咧，我哋係會睇咗右手邊先嘅定義嚟嘅呢個。OK， 等於我哋會睇咗右手邊先嘅。所以咧，其實咧呢一個 expression 咧 count 等於 count 加一咧，佢係會做咗 count 加一先嘅，佢係會做咗 count 加一先嘅。OK， 咁 count 原本係零啦，零加一係一啦，咁所以等於嘅右手邊咧係一，跟住佢先至會將個 count 咧 set 咗做一，一等於 count 等於一嘅意思，即係將個一咧 set 咗落去個 count 度，所以呢個 count 咧就會由原本係零變咗做一啦。而第二次行嘅時候，個 count 係一嘅話咧，咁佢咪會一加一係二，跟住 update 個 count 做二咯。咁第三次行嘅時候咧，個 count 係二，二加一係三，三就塞落去個 count 嗰度，咁個 count 咪會由二 update 咗去三咯。所以呢一句嘢係咩意思啊？呢句嘢就係 increase count by one，update 個 count 加一啊，將個 count 累積咁樣加一、加一、加一、加一，累積咁樣去加，就係呢一句嘅嘢個意思啦。咁如果大家同學有啲有 programming 底嘅咧，可能就會話，count 加加都做到啦，冇錯，其實即係 count 加加。OK， 不過咧後啲嘅時間咧，我就會再解釋多啲，就係加加 count 同埋 count 加加嗰個分別。OK， 但係而家暫時咧理解咗何謂 count 等於 count 加一先，咁希望你哋明白啦。好，咁跟住我哋呢一個菱形做啲咩㗎？呢一個菱形咧，其實就係為咗完咗個 loop 啊！你試想像一下，就係如果我哋冇咗呢一個菱形嘅話咧，佢咪會 loop 死咯，個 program 唔會完㗎啦。如果冇咗呢個菱形嘅話 ，OK， 咁呢個菱形咧，其實就係控制重複嘅條件，或者調翻轉嚟講，就係呢一個菱形係控制幾時完。咁舉翻正話個例子啦，講10次你好嗎會幾時完啦 ？OK， 會幾時繼續啊？或者調轉嚟講，幾時會繼續編啊？如果我要講10次你好嗎？你好嗎？完未啊？未。你好嗎？完未啊？未。要到幾時先至完啊？等於 n 係啦，即係話如果舉起嘅手指未夠 n 嘅話，都要繼續。所以咧，其實呢一度咧就係，如果個 n 係細過個 count，我哋都要繼續，係咪啊？因為佢 yes 嘅時候佢會編啊嘛。OK， 總之我幾時要講啊？就係，如果發現我舉起嘅手指未夠10，我都仲要繼續講咯。如果舉起嘅手指仲係細過10，咪要講咯。明唔明白啊 ？OK。咁所以咧呢一個咧就係第5條嘅答案啦。有好多做法㗎，等陣間我睇下同學嗰啲做法，我再同你哋 share 下啦。OK。So I have just mentioned that we need to repeatedly print stars and increase count by 1. Okay, but we cannot let this to be done infinitely. Okay, we need to stop this. Okay, so when should we stop? If you are asked to say hello 5 times, okay, when should we stop? If we use our fingers to count how many times we say hello, okay, then if there is only one finger up, okay, we still need to say hello because we only raise up one finger, not 5. So the condition for continue is if n is smaller than count. Sorry, if count is smaller than n. I'm reading incorrect. If count is smaller than n. Okay, if count is smaller than 10, which means the number of fingers up are less than the target count. Okay, if count is less than n, then we need to repeatedly say hello again, or in the case here, we print star again. Okay, so if this is true, then we do repeatedly, and if this is not, which means that the number of stars are enough, okay, then we end the process. Okay, so this is the answer of question 5. Okay, and I'll leave this on the screen for a while, say 1 to 2 minutes, and I'll go through the works by the other students, and we may discuss the other alternative solution later. 咁我依個 show 多2分鐘啦，咁跟住我先至再講下其他同學嗰啲 work 啦。OK。好，咁跟住我哋睇下其他同學嗰啲 Q5 啦。好 ，Alex 嘅 input n 跟住 n 等於 if n 等於0，呢個又係幾有趣嘅做法喎。我正話咧咪話用手指去幫我哋嘅，咁跟住我就話啦，用手指幫咧，我哋就整多個 variable 叫 count 啦。咁跟住咧，呢一度咧個寫法就係點樣咧？就係佢唔整多個 count 喎，而係譬如佢話要 print 5粒星星嘅話，咁佢點樣咧？一開波佢就佢就用翻個 n， 咁跟住就係 print 星星 ，print 星星 ，print 星星 ，print 星星 ，print 星星，幾時停啊？ 係啊，零嘅時候就停。OK， 咁所以咧零嘅時候咧佢就停啦。OK， 唔係零嘅時候咧佢就重複咁樣做啦。咁係 OK 嘅。OK， 咁呢一個做法咧就work 嘅，個邏輯上係 work 嘅。咁不過我都有少少 remark 咧，就要講翻。第一個 remark 咧就係、我哋通常咧啲 loop 啦，即係喺 programming 上邊嚟講啦 ，while loop 好 ，for loop 好 ，do while loop 咧，我哋都係當個條件係 true 嘅時候會 loop。OK， 咁所以如果你話 flowchart 嘅時候咧，或係 no 嘅時候會 loop 嘅話咧，到寫 program 嘅時候就要轉一轉啦。OK， 即係呢個 condition 咧，你要 not 咗佢，同埋呢個 yes no 你調翻轉咯。咁呢個 conversion 咧就少少麻煩。OK， 咁所以如果習慣嘅時候咧，我哋多數都係會 yes 嘅時候重複，因為 programming language 咧好多時都係重複個條件係 yes 嘅時候佢就重複。咁呢個其一啦。其二咧就係、咁樣做係 OK， 不過咧都要睇下你喺呢一紮曲之後會唔會重用 user 入嘅嗰個 n， 因為你改咗 user 入嘅嗰個 n。明我意思嘛？如果唔會嘅話，唔緊要 ，OK 嘅。咁但係如果會嘅話咧，你就攞唔翻 user 入嗰個 n 㗎啦喺度，明唔明白？因為個 n 會變咗做咩？到最尾會變咗做零咯。OK， 咁所以咧呢一個咧係要小心嘅。但係呢個 program 係 perfectly work 嘅。OK， 得唔得？OK， 咁呢個係要留意，但係幾得意嘅。咁你哋可以知道睇，其實有唔同嘅做法喎，冇話一個一定啱嘅 flowchart 喎。Okay, so the work here is a bit different from mine. Okay, the first difference is it didn't use another count variable. Okay, you can see there is no count variable declared. It's used the n input by the user. As you can see, it says it check whether n is equal to 0 here. Why? Because the n is representing the number of stars need to be printed. Okay, the count that I mentioned before is number of stars to be printed. Okay, and the n here is how many stars remaining. How many stars remaining? Okay, so if there is a star printed, okay, then the n is reduced by 1. Okay, so the approach is a bit different, but it works perfectly. Okay, however, you really need to consider a few things. The first thing is because in programming, either we use while loop or do while loop. The repeat condition is if this condition is true, then we repeat. Okay, so if you write like this, the logically is work. But however, when we go to the coding, then we need to not this case and swap this yes and no. Okay, a bit trouble, but again, this logically work. And the other one is if we need to use the n input by the user, okay, then we lost it here because we update the n. Okay, and at the end of this flowchart, n will become 0, and we lost the user's input. Okay, so that is the thing that I want to point out for this diagram. 同學 get 到我意思嘛 ？OK，work 㗎呢一個 ，OK。好，跟住下一個。如果 n 大過零，呢樣我呢個做法都係。咁呢個同學咧就係即係佢唔使轉咯 ，OK。因為 n 大過零嘅時候咧，佢就 print 啦 ，OK。呢個條件 true 嘅時候做，咁所以個 while loop 咧就你就咁寫翻 while n 大過零就 OK 啦 ，OK。即係呢個轉去 program 就會容易啲咯 ，OK。咁大過零就即係仲有星星未編嘅意思。大過零，仲有星星未編 ，OK， 咁係編咯 ，OK， 到 n 等於零嘅時候，即係冇星星要編啦，咁呢一個係又係 perfect 嘅呢一個 ，OK，Thomas 嘅 n 等於零，input n 啦，如果個 n 係零嘅話，咁佢就呢個 n 減一等於 n。跟住 display n stars，嗱 嗱，display n stars 等於加星星。嗱，兩樣嘢嘅。第一樣咧就係n 咧係個數字嚟㗎嘛。咁喺呢一條嚟講，其實我哋係唔需要 output 個 n 嘅。OK， 即係如果 n 係5嘅話啦，咁你呢度 output n 咪會出咗個5咯。OK， 咁呢個係唔需要呢一個啦。OK， 唔需要呢個啦。OK， 咁跟住咧呢一度咧就係如果係 n 等於0，其實呢個咧同正話個早兩個嗰個做法係一樣嘅。OK， 個 loop 係咁樣嘅。咁一度咧就係佢要編星星嘅情況啦。OK， 因為佢係想用翻個 n 嘛，個 n 喺呢度嘅意思就係仲有冇星星要編。咁如果等於0嘅時候，咪真係冇星星要編咯。咁即係呢度 no 嘅時候咧 ，n 唔等於0，即係有星星要編啦。OK， 咁咧佢呢度咧呢一個咧就 general 得滯，呢一個 process。即係如果係咁樣講嘅話，呢一個 process 入邊咧，佢都要有個 loop，因為佢呢度佢會話 display n star 再等於再加多粒。OK， 咁但係其實呢一度咧可以簡化到就咁編一粒就得㗎啦。OK， 因為編咗出嚟嘅嗰啲我哋就編咗㗎啦。OK， 唔再需要講佢 display 翻之前編嗰啲星星啦。OK，display n star 一個可以慳翻嘅。咁所以咧係就咁 display 一粒星星咧就 OK 啦。OK， 因為當佢第二次行嘅時候咧，我哋已經當佢已經之前編嗰啲已經喺個 screen 嗰度，就唔需要再講而家個 screen 有啲乜嘢㗎啦。OK， 咁所以呢度你可以簡化到係 display 一粒星星。OK， 咁樣就 OK 啦。咁如果 display 嘅話咧，其實係屬於 output， 咁所以咧你要用翻個平行四邊形，佢 display 一粒星星啦。OK，display 一粒星星，即係好似呢一度咁樣。OK，display 一粒星星。OK，咁樣就 OK。咁另外咧就係我睇得明你呢一個嘅，但係要左右調翻轉，因為咧等於咧係做咗右手邊先嘅。OK， 等於係做咗右手邊先嘅，咁所以咧 n 減一等於 n 咧要調翻轉，會變成 n 等於 n 減一，咁樣就 perfect 啦。OK， 咁即係會變成就係同學呢一個嘅做法。OK， 咁會就似翻你嗰個啦。OK， 或者係再上一個邏輯，你可能係近呢一個多啲嘅。OK， 變翻做呢個，即係你嗰個display n 粒星星再加多粒咧。OK，display 原本嘅星星再加多粒就可以簡化成為 display 一粒啦。OK， 同埋 n 等於 n 減一，咁樣就會係接近翻你嗰個 logic 多啲。OK， 咁呢個係 Q5。好，時間關係啦，我好快咁樣講埋個 Q6，跟住咧我哋就好快咁樣去講 Lab 2啦。Lab 2我會留翻好多俾你哋翻屋企繼續試下做嘅。不過好彩 Lab 2係相對地短嘅。OK。好，咁跟住第6條。So for question 6, the questions require you to enter the size of the photo paper and also the size of small photo. Okay, so there are 4 inputs involved. The photo paper width and the height of the photo paper. Okay, so that's dimension of the photo paper that involved 2 inputs. The photo paper width and height or length, width and length. Okay, and the size of the small photo. Okay, so the small photos width and also the length of the small photos. So for this question, we should have 4 inputs. 4 inputs. Okay, the width and height of the photo paper and the width and height of the small photo. 咁做到第6條嘅時候啦，第一樣嘢我哋要知嘅咧就係呢一條嘅 input。OK， 其實有4個嘅。OK， 點解係4個咧？就係嗰張紙嘅 dimension 啦 ，width 同埋 height 啦。OK， 打橫呢個長度同埋呢一個高度啦。OK， 同埋你要編嘅嗰張相嗰個闊度同埋高度。OK， 咁所以咧就係4個 input 啦。OK。After that, we need to consider the orientation of the photo. Okay, either it is printed in portrait mode or landscape mode. Okay, in portrait mode, okay, we print it like in this way. Okay, so we need to calculate the number of rows and also the number of columns. Okay, so for the landscape one, we rotate the small photo to landscape. Okay, and we need to count again the columns and also the row can be printed. The number of rows can be printed on the photo paper. So we need to calculate both the number of photos for portrait mode and also landscape mode. 咁呢度咧，大家要留意翻咧，就係我哋 portrait mode 咧，即係打動咁樣編張相啦。OK，咁我哋就要計翻打橫編到幾多張啊，打動編到幾多張啊，有幾多欄啦，有幾多個行啦，咁樣啦。OK，咁landscape 咧就係我哋會轉一轉張相啦，打橫咁樣去 print 張相啦。咁同樣地，我哋又係要計打橫佢 print 到幾多欄，打動佢會 print 到幾多行啦。OK，咁但係大家要記住喎，兩個數你都要計嘅。OK，即係 number of portrait 同number of photos in portrait mode 同埋 number of photos in landscape mode 咧，呢兩個咧你都要計嘅。OK，如果唔計嘅話咧，你就唔知道邊個大啲㗎啦。OK。因為呢條係呢條題目嘅要求嚟㗎嘛 ，OK， 睇下邊個好啲就 print 邊個嘛 ，OK。So we need to calculate both portrait and landscape. The number of photos can be printed in portrait mode, and also we need to calculate the number of photos can be printed in landscape mode. Okay, we need to calculate both. Because if we don't calculate both values, we don't know which one is better. Okay, as required in this question, we will show the one which can be printed more. Okay, so we need to calculate both number of photos can be printed in portrait and in landscape. Okay, so we need to calculate the number of row and column in portrait mode, and also the number of row and column in landscape mode. So here involved some division and also and multiplication. I'll show you the answer. Okay, so we get 4 inputs: the paper width, paper length, photo width, and photo length. As mentioned before, we need to calculate the number of column, the number of row and number of column and multiply them. And again here, we calculate number of row and number of column and multiply them. Okay, to calculate the number of photos in portrait mode and landscape mode. Okay, so make sure that you use the correct formula here. Otherwise, the number of portrait and landscape will be incorrect. For this question, you will be asked to implement in Java later. Okay, in lab 3, lab 4 or 5, I forgot. But you will be asked to implement this in Java. Okay, after you calculate the amount for portrait and for landscape, okay, you can compare the value of portrait and landscape. If portrait is larger than landscape, then portrait mode will be printed and the count of portrait will be printed. Okay, and if this is false, then landscape mode will be printed and the number of photos can be printed in landscape mode will also be printed. Okay, so this is question 6. 咁第6條咧，正如正話講啦，我哋有4個 input 啦，就係將紙嘅闊度同埋高度，將相嘅闊度同埋高度。OK， 咁我哋跟住咧呢度就要計翻打動篇有幾多張啊，同埋打橫篇有幾多張啊。咁呢度譬如打橫篇啦，打動篇啦，我哋咪要將呢一個 photo paper 嘅 width 除翻呢個 small photo 嘅 width， 就係呢一度有幾多張相咯 ，OK， 即係呢度1、2、3張相嘛。咁其實就係 photo paper 嘅 width 除翻 small photo 嘅 width， 我哋就知道呢度有幾多個 column 啦。咁但係大家要留意一樣嘢就係其實 佢冇寫到出嚟嘅，不過我哋應該係要 round down 翻嘅，即係譬如呢度如果係3.6嘅，你都會要當佢係3而唔係3.6咯，因為我哋唔會話 print 到3.6張相噶嘛。OK。And again, for example here, if we need to calculate number of columns in portrait mode, okay, then we need to use the width of photo paper divided by the width of small photo, so we can get the number of columns in portrait mode. But bear in mind that we also need to consider, we need to round down the result. Because, for example, we cannot say that we can print 3.5 photos here. Okay, but so we need to round down 3.5 to 3, okay, in order to set it as the number of column. Okay, similarly, we can use the length of the photo paper, divide the length of small photos to calculate the number of row. Okay, and then we times these two values together to get the number of portrait. OK， 咁打洞啦，打洞呢度幾多行咧？咁我哋咪用翻 photo paper 嘅 length 除翻 small photo 嘅 length， 咁我哋咪知道打洞要幾多咯。同樣地都要 round down 啦。咁 landscape 亦都係差不多啦。landscape 我哋就用翻 photo paper 個 width 啦，但係今次咧就係除翻 small photo 個 length 啦，咁樣就可以知道佢有幾多個 column 啦。而個 height 咧，我哋就係要將個 photo paper 嘅length 啦。除翻 small photo 嘅 width， 咁樣咧，我哋先至可以攞到又打洞有幾多，跟住乘翻埋咧就係 landscape 有幾多啦。咁跟住比較下佢呢兩個數嘅大細啦，去決定 print 究竟係 portrait 定係 landscape 好啲咧，同埋有幾多張咧咁樣咯。咁呢一個咧就係第6條啦。時間關係，我諗我未必會可以講到同學嘅 work 啦呢條，但我諗差唔多啫。睇下先，嗱呢度咧，其實正如正話講，其實應該要計咗先嘅，計咗先，跟住呢一個菱形咧，應該係考慮邊個數大啲，而唔係一開始就決定係打洞定打橫咁樣咯。咁係啦，呢個啱啦，呢個係同學都考慮埋 round down 添啦，呢個非常好啊。OK， 呢個同樣地，我哋應該係要計咗先至考慮佢個 print 邊個好啲出嚟嘅。OK， 即係要咁樣，即係呢個 Alex 呢個係啱嘅。OK， 咁不過咧我就未必會咁樣慳咯，即係未必會慳一個菱形就做晒4個 input 咯。即係你諗下，如果一個菱形1分嘅，sorry 一個平行四邊形1分嘅話，你就唔會咁樣慳㗎啦。OK， 咁咯。OK， 咁好，跟住呢度咧就係我哋 Lab 1啦，咁就啱啱解釋晒啦。咁如果你哋未做完嘅話，唔緊要嘅。咁你哋可以喺 deadline 前咧 submit 就 OK 㗎啦。咁1A 嗰個14號 deadline 嘅下個星期仲有7日咁多，咁所以其實你哋仲有時間做嘅。OK， so that's all for Lab 1. If you haven't finished yet, never mind. Okay, the deadline of Lab 1 submission is 14th of September. So you still have 1 week to do Lab 1A. When you finish, you can upload to the Dropbox in Moodle here. Okay, 1A, Lab 1. Okay, remember upload to the correct Dropbox here. Okay, so 你搞掂就 upload 上嚟 Moodle 呢度，唔好搞錯，你 up 翻去1A 呢一個咧就啱㗎啦。好，咁跟住咧我想講下 Lab 2。Okay. So we may now start to work on Lab 2. Okay, 20 minutes left, but I think I can go through the questions first and let you to work at home. 好，咁呢度咧就想講下呢度其實開始係一啲 Java programming 嘅 code 嚟㗎，嘅 exercise 嚟㗎啦。咁flowchart 咧都叫做過一段落㗎啦。我哋應該咧嚟緊係 quiz 會問下啦 ，test 會問下啦。 咁啊，跟住之後啲 lab 咧都比較少會再掂㗎啦。咁啊，但係希望透過做個 flowchart 個 lab，你哋會清楚一啲邏輯上面嘅嘢啦。咁都係一個幾好嘅 training 嚟嘅。咁跟住我哋就會係主要係做 Java 嘅嘢啦。咁第一條total 有2條嘅啫，呢度 total 2條嘅啫。OK，咁第一條咧就係一個已經 work 嘅 program。OK，咁但係喺講呢一條之前咧，我想大家停一停，同我一齊打一個 Hello World 嘅 program。因為咧，我哋好得意嘅，學任何嘅 programming language 咧，你第一個 program 咧都應該係 Hello World 嘅傳統嚟嘅呢啲。咁我哋一齊試下揼個 Hello World 先，跟住我先至講呢一個Lab 2。其實大部分會俾你翻屋企做㗎啦。咁但係如果你哋喺有一次打 Hello World 嘅經驗咧，應該係會幫到你哋去做呢一個 Lab 2嘅。OK。So before we start to work on Lab 2, I'd like you to stop your work right now and start to write a Hello World program with me together in Java. Okay. So the first thing I'd like you to do is to open a program called testpad. Okay. And I suppose you have Java the JDK installed in your machine at home. Okay, so if you haven't, you can follow the instruction in Lab 0. Okay, so you can follow the instruction here to install the JDK. Okay, but the lab here already have JDK installed, so I don't need to install again. So the first thing we need to do is to open a program called testpad. Okay, we can search TEXT and you can find testpad here. Okay, and after that, we can type the following: public class. Sorry. We do some configuration first. We can click on configure preferences. Okay. 開咗 testpad 啦，跟住我哋set 下嘢先。如果你哋屋企嘅話，就淨係 set 一次就得㗎啦。但係 lab 都要啲機，因為有 reborn 卡咧，咁我哋次次都要 set 啦。configure preferences。Okay. And after that, we can check the field. Click on the field and then check line numbers. Okay, line numbers is very important for us to debug. So check line numbers. Okay, ask the editor to show the line numbers field. Check the line numbers. And after that, you can expand the document classes, expand Java, and fonts here, you can pick some fonts you like, except TrueType fonts. Okay, because non-TrueType fonts is easier for you to write code. Okay, Clear New is fine. And for me, I will pick some larger fonts for you to see my code clearly. Okay.咁我再做一次configure preferences field 呢一度咧 check 翻個 line numbers， 撳開 document classes， 撳開 Java fonts 嗰度咧揀翻你中意嘅 fonts 就唔好咁 Q 咁樣用呢一啲啦，難睇啲用啲 non-TrueType fonts Clear New OK 嘅。咁我為咗方便你哋睇，我自己就較大啲，你哋就唔一定要咁大啦。咁跟住 apply OK。So after that, you can follow me to type the following: public class hello world. Okay. As Java is a case-sensitive programming language, so you need to follow the case here. Small letter public, small letter class, capital letter H, capital letter W. Okay, and there is no space between hello world. Okay, hello and world are stated together. Okay, but capital letter H and capital letter W. okay? Although we have set the fonts to larger fonts, but as I didn't save the program yet, so the IDE here, the editor here don't know this is a Java program. So the next thing we need to do is to save the program. Okay, so file, save as, okay? And if you like, you can create a folder first, okay? For example, under C drive, under the root of C drive, I create a new folder called IOOP. Under C drive, the root of C drive, I create a folder called IOOP. Okay, and then I can save these files under IOOP. But for Java, we have requirement in file name. Okay, so please follow me to type in the file name. Okay, the file name should be the same as the public class name. Okay, so hello world.java. Okay, again, capital letter H and capital letter W. Okay, and then the extension of the Java program should be .java. Okay, hello world, no space between. Okay, hello capital letter H, capital letter W, and then .java, no space here. Okay, .java, and then save. After the program is saved, you can see the difference. Public class are highlighted in blue because they are reserved words. Okay, and hello world is black because it is an identifier. Okay, and after that you can type in the following. Okay, curly brace and curly brace. The curly brace is next to the letter P. Okay, but you need to press Shift to type in this curly brace. OK，跟住打個大括號啦，大括號咧就 P 隔離嗰兩個 ，P 隔離嗰兩個 ，OK， 不過撳住個 Shift 打，咁樣就打到呢一個大括號噶啦，紅色嘅佢係 ，OK。咁我哋寫 program 咧就要留意啦，我哋通常都會開完括弧咧就即刻刪嘅 ，OK， 寧願之後咧翻去中間咧打埋其餘嗰啲嘢，因為咧漏咗啲開刪括弧咧個 program 就會亂到九彩噶啦。咁所以我哋習慣上都係開完之後即刻刪。你開咗3個咧，你就唔會記得刪翻3個噶啦。咁所以開完即刻刪翻咧，就有個好處。咁大括號咧，其實係有個 block 嘅意思嘅，即係佢負責包住一啲嘢嘅。OK， 咁而包住一啲嘢嘅時候咧，我哋就會用個 tape 嚟幫我哋手啦。OK， 用個 tape 嚟幫我哋手咧，去清楚啲睇到究竟佢包住啲乜嘢。OK。咁所以咧喺呢個位置咧，你就撳個 tape，OK， 咁咧就可以繼續打 public static void main string art 咁樣啦 ，OK， 咁呢度有個 tape，Q 隔離有個 tape，OK， 咁啊褪入一層，咁樣會容易啲睇到佢包住啲乜嘢，呢一個 block 呢個 block 包住啲乜嘢，容易啲睇到啊 ，OK。And after you type in the curly brace, which is pretty important that we close immediately. And after that, we can use the tape, okay, because the curly brace here stands for a block, which means we can use it to include more than one statements. And we use this to include something, okay? To make the program easier to read, we use tape here, okay? We call that indentation. We use indentation to make our program clearly to show which is embraced by some other things. For example, here the public class embrace the main method. Okay, a tape here, which is next to the Q. A tape here. Okay, tape. Okay. And then you can continue to type in public static void. Okay, all are small letter, and main stands for main function. Okay, and this is the small bracket. Okay, which is 9 and 0. Okay, but with press shift to type in this phrase. Okay, and string capital letter S, string is capital letter S, args, and here the square bracket, okay, is also next to the P. But for this two, we don't need to press shifts. 咁啊，呢度又有其他嘅括弧，有小括弧啦，小括弧就係9同埋0啦，不過撳住個 shift 打啦。OK， 咁跟住仲有個中括弧啦，個中括弧就 P 隔離嗰兩個，不過今次咧就唔使撳住個 shift 啦，正話個大括號有撳住個 shift 啫嘛，咁呢個咧就唔使撳住個 shift 啦。OK， 咁跟住咧，我哋可以喺呢一度咧就再俾個大嘅開山括弧俾佢。And again, we can add a curly brace here again. Okay, similar to the one for the public class Hello World. Okay, curly brace here again. 咁跟住喺度咧，大家就再整多個大嘅開山括弧啦。OK， 即係 P 隔離嗰兩個，同樣地都係要撳住個 shift 嚟打啦。呢個 curly brace 嚟嘅，即係大括弧嚟嘅。OK， 咁跟住我哋就開始打 main 入邊嘅嘢咯。Okay, and after that, we start to type the statements within main. So here we need to add a tape again. Okay, 咁所以我哋呢度咧就要再加多個 tape 啦。咁啊方便我哋睇究竟個 main 係包住啲乜嘢啦。有個 tape 喺度嘅，即係 Q 隔離嘅嗰個 tape。咁舉個例啦，我哋可以打 system.out.println， 譬如 hello world 咁樣啦。OK。咁 system.out.println 個 S 咧就係大階嘅，佢大階 S， 跟住其他都係細階啦 ，.out 都係細階啦，跟住 print line 嗱呢一個咧係 LN 嚟嘅 ，OK，this is LN，not I，not one，OK，this is small letter L and N，OK，stands for line，OK，print line，OK，verbally we said this is print line，OK，LN 嚟嘅。OK， 咁跟住小括弧啦，跟住 double quote 係 enter 隔離嗰個，不過撳住個 shift 打。咁跟住呢一句完結啦，有一個 semicolon，OK， L 隔離嗰個 semicolon。OK， 咁樣咧，我哋就打完個 hello world 啦。OK， 有人覺得 Java 難學，某程度上就係因為打個 hello world 都打咁多嘢。成個 programming language 啲括弧咧打暈晒嘅喺度 ，OK。好，咁呢一個就係 hello world 啦。咁跟住咧，我哋可以試下行下佢咯，OK。同埋記住一樣嘢就係要 save 啦，OK。打完要 save 啦，OK。Please press Ctrl S to save your program，OK。Ctrl S or you can press this save icon，OK。If your program is not saved yet, you can see there is an asterisk here. 有粒星星喺度㗎。如果你個 program 未 save，OK， 咁你撳 Ctrl S 咧 save 咗佢就冇返粒星星㗎啦。After that, you can open the command prompt. Okay, CMD. You can search CMD to open the command prompt. Okay, search CMD to open command prompt. Okay. And after that, the command prompt so here is the command prompt, okay? And here we are in this directory, C drive users, and yours may different from mine, okay? This should be your ID, okay? To go up to the root, you can either type in cd twice, or you can use cd backslash to go to the root directly, okay? You can either type in cd twice, or use cd backslash to go to the root directory directly. Okay, and after that we can visit change directory. CD stands for change directory. IOOP to go to the IOOP folder. Here you can type in dir, okay, to show the files inside this folder. Okay, which here we can find hello world.java. Okay, to compile this program, we can type in Java C hello world.java. Okay, if there is nothing printed, which means the program can be compiled successfully. If you encounter some error, that's good for you because you have the chance to debug. Okay. 咁如果你打 Java C 加一格 hello.java 冇問題嘅，OK， 咁就好啦。咁佢冇 show 任何嘢好似呢度咁就好啦。咁如果你打完 Java C hello.java 佢會 show 啲 error 出嚟嘅，咁啊好啊，因為你有時間 debug 啊嘛，有機會 debug 啊嘛。咁咧舉一個例子啊，即係如果譬如我打錯咗呢一個，我打漏咗個分號，同埋譬如我打咗呢個做1n 嘅咁樣。咁我 compile 佢嘅時候咧，佢就會話 Hello World.java 嘅第4行錯啦。Okay, if your program has some bug, for example, I type 1n instead of ln. Okay, then it shows an error here. Okay, but the first error it points out is that I'm missing a semicolon. Okay, so here I can type back a semicolon and then save. And after that, I can compile the program again. And you said that there is an error here. Okay, it points to here, but actually the error is this one. The method print 1n does not exist. So we need to fix this. Okay, ln. And after all error is fixed, okay, and when you compile the program again, it shows nothing, which means the program can be compiled successfully. And after that, you can type in Java hello world, okay, to execute this program. 係啊，打錯字啲咧頻頻出現嘅會，尤其是即係一開始咧未咁習慣嘅時候咧。係啦，撳 Ctrl S 去 save。咁啊，同埋呢度咧，如果你未 save 嘅時候，佢其實有粒星星喺度嘅。好，咁啊，我諗今日咧就係咁多啦，因為接住咧應該第2班上堂啊。咁啊，我再講多少少啦，就係你哋咧其實係可以去我個 Notion page 啦 ，OK。So that's all for today. But for my last word is that you can visit my Notion page here. Okay, under Moodle, the general, there is a link for my Notion page. And when you click on the Notion page, you can see some of my materials is posted here. Okay, you can expand Introduction to Programming and then expand week 1 and then expand lab video. Then you can see some of my explanation here, lab 02. Okay, although this video is conducted in Cantonese, but I'm sure that if you follow what I've typed, okay, you should have some ideas for this. But anyway, I just want you to take a look this video at home. It doesn't mean that I won't repeat in next lab section. I will still repeat lab 02 in next lab session, but I hope you can try to first install the JDK, okay, and try the Hello World program again at home, okay, and then you can follow this to try to work on Lab 2. Okay, so that's all for today and see you next week. 咁啊因為今日有啲趕啦，應該另外一班咧就接住呢個班即係接住呢個班房上堂啦。咁啊，所以我就要完㗎啦。咁但係你哋都可以 visit 我個 Notion page 啦。你睇 Lab 00咧，你會睇到點樣裝 Java 嘅。咁啊 Lab 02咧就係我未講嘅 Lab 嚟嘅，即係我正話講有2條嗰個啦。OK， 咁啊冇辦法啦，我呢度講唔到啦。咁但係我叫你睇片唔係話我下一堂就咁就完㗎啦，我下一堂都會再講翻 Lab 2嘅。但係我想你哋可以喺屋企試下做下 Lab 2先。OK， 喺屋企裝個 JDK 啦，再寫下個 Hello World 啦，試下做個 Lab 2啦。OK。咁啊，呢一個 video 應該都幾 complete 㗎啦，可以幫到你哋㗎啦。咁我哋今堂咧就係咁多。